What you're watching right now is a perfectly legal shot in the game of pickleball. And I'll tell you why in a couple seconds. But first, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because we're gonna be breaking down 4 essential rules that you need to know about the kitchen area when it comes to the game of pickleball. Let's get into it.
This is a pickleball rule in regards to the kitchen that I don't see a lot of people talking about. And it's reestablishing your feet if you ever get pushed back with a lob or an overhead. So a lot of times what happens in pickleball, you're playing here at the kitchen line. If the ball gets popped over your head, you have to propel yourself backwards. So what a lot of people will do is they'll take a step forward in order to push back to hit that overhead. But you have to make sure that if you step on this line, because remember, this line is included in the kitchen. So if you step on this line and you go back to hit a shot, if you don't reestablish both feet, it's considered a fault because you pressed off of the kitchen line, and that would be the same as you stepping in the kitchen line and hitting a volley. So again, if you get lobbed in pickleball, it's okay to press back, but make sure you establish both feet before hitting that overhead.
This is one of the most common misconceptions I see when it comes to the kitchen area in pickleball, and it's that people think they can never step in this area. They almost treat it like it's hot lava. But the reality is you can step in here anytime you want. You can even hang out in this kitchen area if you want. And you can hit the ball when you're standing in the kitchen area, but you just have to let it bounce. That's the rule. Now, what you can't do if you're standing in here is volley the ball, okay? That's gonna be a fault. Now, here's the deal. I would never suggest hanging out in this area because as you see a lot of pros, like you'll see people hug this line because they really wanna be able to take a volley and use that as a put away or an aggressive shot. But if you're standing in here, you'll never be able to do that. So rule is it's best to kind of hang out at this kitchen line instead of in it, but don't be afraid to come in here because a lot of times it's actually smarter to let that ball bounce in front of you, step in and hit it because you'll be more on balance than overreaching from behind the kitchen line.
There are 2 shots that happen in pickleball at the kitchen line that are a lot of fun, and they are the Erne and the ATP. But when it comes to the Erne and the ATP, there are some specific rules that you need to know. So when you're Erneing the ball, what an Erne is it's you jumping this area to avoid the kitchen and to come over here and hit the ball. Now, when you're Erneing the ball, you actually can step into the kitchen, but you must reestablish both feet in order to hit that ball. The other way to Erne would obviously be to jump this line, okay? So that is a completely legal shot, but make sure that you establish those feet if you do step in the kitchen. Also, you don't want your paddle to hit the net, and you can't cross the plane unless you contact the ball. Okay, so those are the rules that you need to know about the Erne. The other shot is the ATP. Now, if you're dinking, this normally happens when you're dinking cross court, but if you get pulled out wide, it is a perfectly legal shot to come out and hit the ball around the post. And as long as you don't hit the post, this is a completely legal shot in pickleball, and it's really fun to master.
A lot of beginners don't really understand this rule, so I'm going to clear it up for you, and it has to do with momentum in the kitchen area. So what you might not know is that this white line actually is considered part of the kitchen. So like we said before, you cannot volley the ball if your feet are in the kitchen. That also means if your toes are over this white line, even one toe, and you volley the ball out of the air, this is a fault. Same thing when it comes to your momentum as you hit the ball. If you go to volley a ball and let's say your momentum takes you into the kitchen, even if you contacted the ball before your foot steps in, that's considered a fault. Another area that I see this a lot is if people get a pop-up, what often happens is they'll hit their put away and their momentum will take them a step in. Again, it's heartbreaking, but that is a fault in the game of pickleball.
If you're in the market for a pickleball net, look no further than Selkirk.com. The Selkirk nets are the preferred pickleball nets of the PPA Tour, and they have options for beginners, intermediate, and advanced players for all budgets and all levels. Head on over to Selkirk.com/collections/nets to get yours today.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the PlayPickleball.com YouTube channel.
And we'll see you on the next one.